Welcome to the Pit Check, your weekly news for the best and heaviest new albums from your favorite extreme metal and hardcore bands. This week, obviously, there's a lot of albums that we could be talking about. There's the return of Woe Is Me, and then obviously We Came As Romans has a new album out, and those are definitely worth discussing. But honestly, this week I really wanted to focus on more of these underrated and up-and-coming bands because some of the albums this week are legitimately incredible, and they should absolutely be on your radar. So yeah, let's dive on in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's get right into this week's best and heaviest new albums. Netherlands hardcore is insane. The metallic hardcore band Sugarspine has just put out their latest EP titled Violent Heaven. I love that this band sounds like they put all their favorite bands in a blender. They absolutely refuse to stay locked into one genre, bouncing back and forth from metalcore to deathcore to just some good old-fashioned beatdown hardcore. And I love the varying examples this band gives as their inspirations, citing early Stick to Your Guns and Slipknot, which you can definitely hear in that melodic and driving guitar work, but they're also influenced by chaotic and brutally heavy bands like End and Boundaries, so you never really know what kind of breakdown is lurking right around the corner. This was an awesome new EP from a band that deserves way more credit. Definitely check this one out. If you love disgustingly heavy music,
here's your sign.
the deathcore and slam crossover band Signs of the Swarm has just released this relentless new album titled To Rid Myself of Truth. 2025 in a nutshell, baby. This is a brand new chapter for the band, saying, quote, "To rid myself of truth marks a transformative moment for Signs of the Swarm, as they evolve beyond their deathcore roots, infusing their sound with elements of industrial, metalcore, and a savage, stomping aggression that firmly establishes them as a harbinger of a new era of heavy." And it's easy to see where they're going stylistically on this album. It seemed like they were definitely out to prove that they can be as technical and brutal as any band on the scene right now, if not more so. And the guitars here especially get to show off more than I've ever heard for this band. I was lucky enough to catch this band live a couple months ago with Chelsea Grin, Shadow of Intent, and Disembodied Tyrant. Incredible show, by the way, and if you like any of those bands, definitely check out Signs of the Swarm. And if you can believe it, some of these songs are even heavier live than on the album. You definitely don't want to miss this one. Do you miss late 90s metalcore and hardcore? The Spain-based throwback metalcore band Faced Out has just released their latest album titled At Eternity's Edge. This is such a breath of fresh air to the revivalcore scene that's currently happening. Instead of 2000s metalcore and Myspace core, Faced Out goes for more of that Hate Thousand, edgecore vibe of the 90s European scene. Those kind of Slayer-influenced guitars mixed with that angry, tough as nails New York hardcore sound, with no shortage of two-steps and brutal breakdowns. And the band is not shy at all about paying homage to that Hate Thousand scene, explicitly saying, bands like Archangel, Length of Time, Reprisal, From the Dying Sky, and Sentence defined most of our style. So yeah, if you like any of those bands, definitely check this one out. I had an amazing time with this album. I mean, I love bands that can both show off how technical they are while also being ungodly heavy. This might be the heaviest rapcore band out there. The absurdly brutal Beatdown Hardcore meets Rapcore band Gritmonger has just released their latest EP titled Type Shit. If you love when bands like Peeling Flesh do the whole DJ scratching and samples thing, this is like that times 1,000. And I really love how seemingly easy it is for this band to make the most groovy and bouncy riffs that are just so heavy. Seriously, I challenge you to sit still while this band is playing. You're either going to be breaking your neck from headbanging or dropping it low on the dance floor. The energy and vibes from this band are through the roof. You better come correct before you stay. And I also want to point out that they do all of this while absolutely shredding. The guitars and the bassist are non-stop riffing and tearing this album up, which is great because then this album works whether your brain is turned off or on. Australian breakdowns hit different. The Melbourne-based chaotic beatdown hardcore band Deadweight 80 has just put out their latest EP titled Familiar Shades of Violet. This band loves that old school nathy and chaotic hardcore vibe, but with crazy low drop tune guitars. And I love that this band is not afraid to pump out a like slam or deathcore breakdown right in the middle of an up-tempo riffy song. Sometimes this band gives me an Every Time I Die or a Norma Jean kind of vibe, especially with all those southern and country fried riffs and melodies, and an energy and momentum that feels like it'll rip right through a venue. I really enjoyed this one, and I think Deadweight 80 is massively underrated. Definitely check this one out if you want some good Aussie metallic hardcore. Ever heard deathcore for girl boss people? The slamming deathcore and brutal beatdown hardcore band Wocket Launcher has just released their latest album titled Wocket Launcher presents Wocket Launcher, the Compilation, a compilation by Wocket Launcher. And as you can tell, this band absolutely does not take itself seriously, although the instrumentals are seriously incredible. Genuinely, I was beyond impressed with how good these guitars are. It is non-stop riffs and sweeping and shredding, with all of these classic and iconic Myspace deathcore riffs and homages. While the band is pretty memey, the music isn't. And it's kind of funny, this album is basically just 2 demos smashed together. It's 3 brand new songs and then 4 songs that were re-recorded from their last demo, along with an interlude in the middle about how cringe it is to re-record songs from your demos. This was awesome, just through and through. If you wanted some extremely melodic death metal mixed with some ungodly heavy slam, look no further, this is the band for you. can't get enough LA hardcore. The Los Angeles straight-edge hardcore band Firestarter has finally released their debut EP, titled Still Holding On. There was a ton of anticipation and hype behind this release. They have been putting on a ton of crazy shows over the last couple years, and now they're backed by Hardlore Records, and of course have a Twitching Tongues feature. So obviously, people were going to be pretty excited about this one. Straight up, I loved this EP. This leans heavier into the punk side of hardcore punk. The guitars are pumping out these driving melodies and riffs and solos. Yes, solos. And the guitar work here just makes every song so fresh and unique. And I love how many unbelievable bass lines there are in this entire release. This is exactly what I was asking for. More bass in hardcore. Everything about this band is such a breath of fresh air to the hardcore scene. If you love bands like Floor Punch or Straight Ahead, definitely check this one out. This is peak 2008 slamming deathcore. The slam and brutal death metal band begging for, incense? Yeah, incense. Let's just call them BFI. BFI has released their first album in 9 years titled Going Postal. And I wasn't kidding about the whole 2008 influence thing. This band actually dropped their debut album in 2008. And I'm glad that in the year 2025, bands like this are finally getting the credit they deserve. I mean, you can probably tell by the name alone, but this is some disgustingly heavy slam. The instrumentals are going crazy the entire time, never repeating riffs or sounding generic or boring. And of course, this whole thing is very fun and self-aware, but never skimping on the brutality. If you love Throwback or Myspace, Deathcore, and Slam, definitely give this one a shot. Okay, and now here is the list of all the albums that were released this week. So many good albums came out that I just couldn't fit into this one. Obviously, Deftones had a new album that came out. I mean, come on, you've probably heard it by now. It's awesome. As the Life Leaves Your Eyes is one that I almost added. I really love their throwback metalcore sound. It's so genuine and perfect. Fatal Wounds dropped a new demo, which is a lot of fun. Hated is also an amazing deathcore project that was this close to making it on the list as well. And in the comments below, definitely let me know if there's anything I missed or that I should have covered. I'm also giving free reign to recommend bands. It could be your band, it could be your friend's band. I'm all ears. I'm down to hear some new music. And like always, I'll catch you next week for next week's new metal and hardcore album reviews.